Welcome friends to this third and last day of my visit here, on this 3-day visit. I was very happy to spend this time with you, to meet many of you individually and some in small groups. It gave me an idea how much love and devotion exists amongst us here. This is the secret for going to such heart. I was looking out of the window. Today the sun was shining very brilliantly. And I thought over it in a very light-hearted moment that when the sun is shining, the words beginning with S are so important for us. Then I began to say, how are the words starting with S in English so important? I began to count that we are starting from Satpurush and Sachkhand, also with S. We talk of Satguru and Satsang and Simran and Shabad, Soul Shabad, all starting with S. Soulmates and souls, all starting with S. So I discovered that the letters starting with S has such a profound effect on us. So I was counting so many words this morning and I said, I am lost in this thing. And then I remember out of 5 words, one word which is very important when the soul realizes it is the same as Satpurush, and that word is Soham. I am the same. But then I realized the English word is the same. We just call it Swami. But Swami means so am I. If you split the word Swami into 3 words, it means the same thing. So am I. So when I saw that we talk of Surt Shabd, then Surt is with S, the Shabd is with SH. How many words can be pronounced with S without an H? It should still sound like Sh. One lady asked George Bernard Shaw, she said, Mr. Shaw, isn't it strange that the only word in English language where the S can be pronounced as SH without an H is sugar? And George Bernard Shaw said, Madam, are you sure? These are all things that all came into my mind about the letter S. So these are strange that I was once sitting on the UPSC board, Union Public Service Commission board, recruiting some doctors in Orissa. I did not know that the Oriya people can say S as a sh even without an H. Because we were asking some doctors to come for interview. One doctor did not come when his name was called. Later on he appeared. So the chairman of the board was sitting next to me, asked him, Doctor, when we called you, why didn't you come? Where were you? He said, Sir, sure, I was sitting outside. Then what were you doing? So we have had these examples where S can also become sure without an H. So I am only referring to this small thing because one can get light-hearted. One can get humorous. The most humorous person who could be light-hearted and joke, which I found in the life, the great Master Baba Sawan Singh. His name started with S. Sawan also. So therefore the letter S has meant so much to me in my life. And that is why I thought I'd share these thoughts that were coming to me in the morning. They were very light-hearted thoughts. But to tell you the most important thing in life is to be able to laugh at life. Sense of humor is very important. I often say we have 8 senses, not 5. 5 senses are senses of perception only. Seeing, touching, tasting, smelling, all these are 5 senses. And of course, it's important to remember that 3 of them that we use often is seeing, smelling, speaking, all S. And forget about the S now. Let me move on to say that the 5 senses are common to all human beings. 6th sense is rare, but in a way more important on the spiritual path than the 5 senses. The 6th sense is intuition. Intuition has also been called sixth sense. They say women have more sixth sense, more intuition, which is not really true. We all have intuition. Why do we think women have better intuition? I don't know, but somebody has sent me a picture of a store in London. And a large line of women lined up outside. And one of the stores selling, it says, we can restore all the deleted messages in your husband's phone. Very popular. I was surprised to see that such stores are opening up now. But that shows women's intuition is not that strong. They have to go to those stores to find out what was in their husband's phone before they deleted it. But anyway, intuition. What is intuition? Sixth sense. Intuition is the capacity to know something without thinking about it. And we all have it. So many times we feel something. Not think about it, feel it. Thinking says, why are you feeling it? We say, I don't know, but I feel it. Sometimes they call it gut feeling. Just a feeling in the head, in the heart, somewhere, something is going to happen. And it happens. Sometimes we advise ourselves, don't travel tomorrow. There's going to be an accident. How can you know there's an accident? There's no evidence of that. The next day, accident happens. And you say, I knew it yesterday. I could tell it before that. Intuition is a very powerful thing. The thoughts come from the mind. Intuition comes from the soul, directly. We have the soul functioning as a conscious entity in our head, and so is the mind functioning. So the mind goes into rationality, into logic, into making sense of things. But the intuitive power, which comes automatically, is from the soul. If one has to lead a spiritual life, again, spiritual, yes, anyway. Spiritual life, one has to remember to listen to the soul. The soul speaks through intuition. And sometimes we are not sure if the intuition is correct or not. The mind mostly says, don't rely on intuition. Don't rely on these kind of feelings. Understand, make sense, use your logic, use your brains. That's what the mind says. And next day we find intuition was better. I wish I had listened to my inner voice. We say it often. This inner voice or the inner feeling is not even a voice. It's just a knowing that something is going to happen or something is not going to happen. These intuitive feeling that we get inside, this intuition coming from the soul, very often is supplemented or complemented by something that happens outside. For example, we have an intuitive feeling something will happen. An accident may happen tomorrow, we have to be very careful. No reason for it. We're driving our car and there's an advertisement on the board, accident insurance. It has nothing to do with the accident insurance. The word accident is right there. You open a book, some words are there which correspond to your intuition. If you start watching out for what comes to you intuitively, you will find it is always being supplemented with some outside evidence. It's not completely lacking evidence. So what happens inside it intuitively and what happens outside are complementing each other. But if we don't notice it, we are consistently trying to say we should think and find out by thinking what we should do. And thinking misses out a lot of important things. Why is that? Because thinking mind works on the knowledge of the data that is presented to it at one time. It is never too much data. And tomorrow, I wish I had known that, I would have done differently. That means we never have enough data to make a good decision by the mind. We make decisions and regret. Very often we regret. I was surprised that in business world, where I was for many years, I was in the business world, and now I again got into business world. I discover how people who successfully led companies work intuitively, not on the reason. Intuitively they knew which is the best course to follow. When they try to reason out, they say, oh, we forgot, we should have taken that into account. So intuition is coming from there. It's a sixth sense and very important. That is why I encourage people. I said, if you want to lead a good spiritual life, Listen to your intuition. Listen to the signs that come outside, complementing your intuition. Listen to this feeling that comes from time to time again and again. But if we are thinking continuously to make decisions, we go wrong many times. Sometimes the intuition and the thinking is at the same time, same answer. That's good enough. But sometimes it is not. It's good to watch out for intuition. I remember a man who told me, intuition is so important, I practice every day. I said, I didn't know you can practice intuition. How do you do that? He said, I want to find an answer to whether I should go right or left today morning. So I put my mind to the test and I said, left. And what is that for? I asked him. That's the mind thinking, giving you an answer. Intuition doesn't take the that you did. It is absolutely spontaneous. Intuitive feelings come spontaneously, and you will notice a very essential feature. What is truly spiritual does not take time. What is mental takes time. Always. Every thought takes time. Intuition takes no time. Similarly, other features that come from the soul, like love, for example. You fall in love, you can't say, it took me 10 minutes to fall in love. It took 10 minutes to think whether it's right or wrong and gave it up. That's okay. But you don't think about this. That is why the features that exist, intuitive knowledge, the appreciation of beauty, for example. I look at flower, beautiful. I say beautiful without one single thought. Then I start thinking, analyzing it. Oh, this is beautiful because of this, because of this. The beauty that I saw in an instant disappears. So that is why there are certain features in our soul that are functioning all the time. And intuition, an important one. So that is why I think sixth sense is even more important than the five senses. The seventh sense is even more important than intuition. What is seventh sense? It's called common sense. It's very uncommon, but we still call it common sense. What is common sense? Common sense is the ability in a human being to say this is important, this is not. To distinguish between the grain and chaff. What is real, what is not real. To distinguish between what is important, what is not. It's common sense. And if you apply common sense, your whole life changes. Because if you notice, so much of our time we spend in trivialities, very small things. Sometimes we have an argument at home. The husband and wife are arguing. Oh no, the chapati was not made properly. No, it was made properly. An argument, throw dishes around, fight. How does it matter if chapati was made properly or not? Does it count anything really? That makes such a big importance. We are giving an importance to a very unimportant thing. If you use common sense, you do not spend your attention. The most valuable thing we have, as I said yesterday, is our attention, and concentration of attention is the pathway to discover who you are. Then if we are not using common sense and concentrating on what is most important in our life, to arrange a priority in life requires common sense. What we are giving priorities to are things which are of no consequence. We ourselves realize after a few days, why did I waste my time on that? Why was I arguing for hours and hours and got nothing out of it? Why waste time on trivialities, a small thing, and a bigger thing which we could have put our attention on? Well, I recommend people, please use your priority correctly. Make your early morning meditation, even 10 minutes, priority number one. We get up and start thinking, what is my day's program, where I have to go, get ready, I have to get ready quickly, go. Is that more important? Are we not realizing that the human life which we are leading has a main purpose of being able to find the truth within this? And the priority number one should be how to discover yourself, to meditate on yourself. I said priority number one in the morning should be to meditate. People say, is meditation necessary to make progress inside? I say absolutely yes. Progress inside comes from meditation, but your faith comes from love of the Master. Ultimately, the faith and the practice go together. The more experience you have, the faith is built upon it. Now, there are two kinds of faith. A faith based on somebody saying something, you believe it. That's called blind faith. Blind faith, you have no proof of it, there's no experience of it, just because somebody said, or a book said, or religion said, or parents said, we believe it. We are living in blind faith. The blind faith is really a dead faith because it doesn't grow. It stays where it is. Somebody said something, all our life we believe the same thing. As against blind faith, we have a living faith that grows. Living faith is based upon what we are experiencing, what we expect to experience more. One experience leads to knowing what will happen next. That is faith. So faith is something, it should be living. Every time you meditate, faith grows. Every incident happens when you say, this is Master's hand here, faith grows. Every miracle that happens, faith grows. So that is why it's important to remember what is important, what is not, and therefore I say common sense is very, very important here. But the eighth sense is the highest sense, the sense of humor. The ability to laugh at everything, ability to laugh at the drama going on around us. You can only laugh at this world if you know it's a drama and it's just a show set up. That you are sitting inside your head and watching the show from there. Comfortable chairs. Don't have to laugh loudly. Laugh inside. Laugh inside at what is happening. Try it out. They say laughter is the best medicine. And that is why I sometimes tell jokes and people sometimes say, this spiritual guy is the entertainer. Telling a joke. They asked me to speak in Punjabi in Delhi, and they thought I'd tell something very important about Satpurusha Dhanpan. What did I tell them? I said, there was a doctor who said to me this joke. He said, patients can be very strange. One man came to him and he said, what is my disease? And I said, you have a very chronic disease. He said, I don't understand chronic. Explain to me in Punjabi. The doctor said, I explained to him, एक बड़ी खराब बीमारी तेनू चिमड़ी हुई है, अंदरों खा रही है. He said, कि मैं पेके पे ही दिया फिर. Things like that. So I was just saying that why am I telling these jokes sometimes to emphasize that life is not that serious as we take it. Most of the things that are making us involved in life, which are making it difficult to meditate, making it difficult to get our attention out, are very small things, and we are putting attention on them. And then I was telling them that there are so many mantras in this world. But the mantra that starts with the letter S again, which is useful in every situation that happens, we can say, so what? The best mantra. You look at life, things happen, so what? You are not going to be killed by that small thing that are happening, on which we are giving so much attention. So many things are so non-serious, we are taking them seriously, and that is why it's very important to have the ability to look at them in a humorous way, to look at them in a way that what is this? It's just a show. We go to a movie and we spend money to buy a ticket. And then with the ticket, we are seeing horrible scenes on the movie, and we sit in our chair and enjoy it. And the high and low happens. We take it so seriously. Movie is taken so seriously by people that you can even see the faces of people, how much they get frightened. Something frightening is happening. Now what will happen next? Will he kill her or not? That next scene, they are waiting in the movie. And people actually move in the front of their chair. So concerned. One movie maker made a movie of the audience. I don't know if you heard of it. He put cameras on the screen, and as this movie went on, he took a movie of the audience, and he found how the audience reacted as if the whole thing was real. They forgot it's a movie. Well, when we forget it's a movie and take it as so real, what is the reason for that? Why can't we remember there is just a white screen there and just a picture is coming from behind, from the projector. The film was loaded long ago, made long ago, acting was done by people long ago. What we are watching is merely an acted thing, there's nothing real. Why are we so concerned with this? And why do we react like that? An answer to that question was given by a Greek philosopher long ago. His name was Aristotle. Aristotle, in those days there were no movies, but there were drama. So drama was on the stage and people were acting. But when the people acted tragic scenes, people watching, they had tears in their eyes, they would cry. And he raised the issue, don't people know these are just actors, they're acting, there's nothing real happening? Why are they crying as if the real things are happening? So he says, this is because when we see drama, we place ourselves in the drama. And we associate ourselves with those characters as if the story is about us. And we have to get rid of the excess of our emotions. Drama helps us to do that. He gave a very good answer. That we have so much emotion in us as human beings. Our emotional self is even stronger sometimes than our conscious self. The emotional self arises from our heart center. These 6 centers of energy that we are carrying in our body, they perform the different functions, and the heart center is the most important center to generate all kinds of emotions. It can create sadness, it can create tears in our eyes, it can create certain amounts of high and low. So Aristotle's idea is that when you present something which is purely fictitious and not real at all, we can take it as real for our own usefulness to remove or the catharsis of excess emotions, that we take purgation of our emotions. So same thing we do here when we see a movie. We totally forget that the movie is not real and it is being created from some projector at the back, in which a pre-loaded, determined film already made long ago is being played and the shadow is being taken as real. Try to remember this world is being created identically. No difference at all. This shooting of this was not taking place here. It was shot in the causal plane long ago. It was wound up like a film in the mind. The mind is unwinding it when we are playing this game outside and seeing this world. Light of the soul, which is life, light, the light of the soul, go through the mind and project this sense perception in multi-dimensional screen and we are seeing a movie. That's the truth. No difference between this show and the movie. And if we sit in the audience, not on the actors, amongst the actors, we see it as a movie. But what do? The difference between a movie on the screen and this movie is, on the screen, we still keep sitting in the audience. No matter what happens. A murder is going to take place on the movie, we don't jump to save anybody. We know it's a movie, and yet we are crying for it. That means we can be emotionally fully involved and yet remember we are sitting in the audience. We are not there. Here to make the movie more interesting, all we have done in this human movie that we are watching, all we have done is to step inside one actor's head. That's all. No other difference. Here we have decided, let us get close to the action. Instead of from a distance from the screen, we want to close to where the action is. So we decided to enter into one actor's head. And when we enter into one actor's head, the destiny of that actor in the movie becomes our destiny. And we start saying, this is my destiny. We start taking our body as a part of the whole show. Therefore, we are taking it as real. There is a lot of purpose, of course, much more than release of emotions and so on. In this movie, this is a movie. Can we really treat it as a movie? Is there a simple way to look at life as a movie? I say yes. The simplest way, if you meditate behind the eyes, And if you can have a comfortable chair, imaginary chair, an imaginary chair behind the eyes, close your eyes, sit comfortable chair, open your eyes and see the movie. Remain there. Don't become the actor in whose head you are sitting, but take your place in the chair. That is the place where you will be an audience. Do not move from there. Watch the whole show of drama outside, including the role that this body of yours in whose head you are sitting also will be playing in the movie. It's not very difficult. It will change your whole life. One simple exercise. It's the simplest of exercises, and by the way, it is the first step in good meditation also. To learn how to sit behind the eyes and watch the drama from there. Not from the seat you are sitting outside, actor is sitting outside. When we say that you are actually merely actors on a stage, people say we are watching and other people are actors. This body is an equal actor, no difference in that. Our own body and the body of others are equal actors. It does not mean that just because you are watching from here, you are outside the actor. You are an actor. You are not an actor if you are sitting behind the eyes and looking out from there. So you can watch the movie from behind the eye and see how interesting the movie is. Don't jump from the chair there. Stay there. There are ups and downs happening in this play. Naturally, a very interesting play. Lots of ups and downs. Watch it from there and laugh and smile as often as you can. The best place to laugh is at the third eye center, behind the eyes. That is why I say the eighth sense is the most important, the ability to watch the movie from behind the eyes and laughing at what is happening. And try it out and you'll be very happy. So I am sharing these few things with you because meditation should not be taken as a ritual. It's an exercise, a scientific exercise, purely scientific, with a proper methodology of how to discover who you are, how to discover why we are taking the outside body to be our reality. What's the way to step inside and make a difference? How it is easy with the tools given to us, the tools of imagination, attention, the ability to concentrate attention, simple tools we can use to withdraw our attention and discover that by becoming unaware of the outside covers, we discover our inside self. And it can be done more than once. We can step inside your own self. When we say go within, what does it mean, go within? Go within it, deeper within our own self. Not go within just by closing eyes and say I'm within. We are looking outside. By closing eyes, you don't go within. Just be looking outside. But you can't see because you close your eyes. People think that just by closing eyes, we are meditating. Meditation is not closing eyes. Will you know if you become a good meditator, you will meditate with your eyes open equally well. Meditation is to pull attention somewhere, to pull the attention behind the eye. Even if the eyes open, it can be done. But just because our attention is so much gripped by outside views that we have to close our eyes to start with. When you close your eyes, they are darkness. And do you think the darkness means you are gone inside anywhere? No, you're still looking outside at the same world. But you just close your eyes. The inside only opens up when you begin to see things in the darkness and wonder who is seeing when it's dark. You can see things, whatever you imagine, with your eyes closed, completely covered, completely with double covers. You can still see things with your imagination. Which eye is seeing that? This eye is closed. This eye you cannot see when it's closed. Then with which eye do you see your imaginary thing? Who is seeing that? Yourself. There's nobody else there. So if you can see with your imagination, that ability to see, not only see, ability to sing a song inside without opening your mouth. You can hear it. You can sing, you can hear, you can touch, you can taste. One of the exercises I do in the meditation exercise, some of you might have seen on YouTube, is to imagine by sitting inside that you have a table next to you and there are flowers there and there is a drink there, there is a snack there, and I make you taste everything and see, smell the flower, taste the food, have the drink. And it is so real because the sense perceptions are the same that are being used here. The same sense perceptions that are operating inside. It's only when you keep on using them inside, you realize the sense perception inside are responsible for the perceptions outside. It takes time to discover. It's the other way around. It's not because we can see here, we see inside. And the most important thing, when I tell them, imagine flowers, they try to imagine flowers, the flowers they say inside are not the one they imagine. Where are they coming from? Flowers are coming with light coming out of them. Flowers are coming. Those are astral flowers. The drink they want to have is never had before. The smell they have, they never smelled in their life. If it's merely memory of something seen outside, it should be exactly what they saw outside. It's all different. Then they realize this is some other place. I do another exercise, and that is that you have something up on the roof of this building. And I used to do that as Great Master's gifts. I would say Great Master's gifts are placed on top of the roof. If you go there with your imagination, you can pick up one. The people with their imagination would go upstairs and they'd pick up something. What they picked up was even beyond their imagination. They couldn't even imagine what they were picking up. And then some of them shared, and so many wrote to me, and I would say, keep those gifts carefully. Imaginary gifts. But they were such that they were beyond their own imagination. They could even imagine that these things can be there, and those are the ones they would pick up from the roof. All I'm suggesting is that we are taking the word imagination as unreal, imaginary, made up. That's what we think. Why do we think that? Only one reason. We take the physical reality as the only reality. That's why. The moment you say, I am open to see any other reality, you will find the physical reality is a very small fraction of the types of realities we can see at different levels. And the very first one, which we call astral reality, is generated by a function called imagination. And what we imagine becomes reality there. This is a very big power at the astral plane. And that, what we are discovering here, people say, oh, we discovered new inventions are coming up, new discoveries, artists are writing new things. They are writing nothing new, it's all coming from there. Inspiration is coming. Where is inspiration coming from? It's coming from there. New things are being created here. From where? From there. They are not new there. If you have an access to your awareness at that level, by removing the awareness of what you consider only reality, then you discover the value of these gifts we have got, the imagination and the attention that we have, and concentration of attention. I have been sharing with you the last few days my experiences with great masters. Whatever I have said to you is according to his teaching, according to his method of finding the self inside. I have not said anything just from any book or anything. The only book is my experience with great master. So that is why I am basing it on something experienced. I would not suggest to you anything that if I haven't experienced, I won't tell you to do. It's not fair. It's hypocritical. That is why please practice. Practice, don't discuss. Don't keep on discussing these things. Start going inside, find what is there. And then if you can discuss, you will find it very difficult to discuss outside. If you have seen things yourself. If you haven't seen, you're very good at discussing. Mind can make up all kinds of concepts. It loves to make concepts. Loves to make big picture stories that don't fit in with reality at all inside. Go inside and see it for yourself. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you again for a little while at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm very happy that I got the chance to see all of you. Thank you.